African women look the most tired. Hi guys.
Hi beautiful people.
Welcome to She Speaks Sacred,
where her voice becomes a sacred right.
She Speaks,
Listen,
Spirit Moves. I'm Wambui Mukunda.
And I am Zanele.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about resting, which is considered by some people as laziness. In our African society, because we mostly speak of the African society in general, women are considered lazy if they are seen resting, if they are seen taking a break, if they are seen sleeping, if they are seen sitting down, which is something, it's a trauma that has been carried from generation to generation. Yeah, it's kind of a trauma, because tell me why our grandparents, our grandmothers, they were always busy. She would wake up, go to the garden, pick something to cook for the family, come take care of the husband, take care of the children, take care of the whole household. Even the family that she's married to. The same case to our mothers. Our mothers, they're always busy, always moving around, always looking for things to do, taking care of family, taking care of their children, taking care of everyone, and they forget to take care of themselves. And I think the same thing falls to us, because the moment when you're growing up, if your mother would find you sleep past even 7, that would become such a huge argument that would be in that house. If you are found just sitting watching TV, you would explain, why are you watching that TV first of all? Or why aren't you busy look for something to do? Clean the house, wash utensils, wash the clothes, like find something to do.
Be useful.
Be useful, yes.
Useless.
Whereas you are busy, sometimes you may be busy, but you're busy doing nothing, you know? And the same thing that is falling to us, because sometimes we find ourselves, when you are resting, you have some kind of guilt that you're experiencing. Like, I should be doing something. I should be working towards this and this. I should be doing this and this. And you find the same thing right now with our phones. We're always on our phones, keeping ourselves busy, because we were brought up. That trauma has been passed from generation to generation, that we have to keep on, we have to be doing something. That you can't even stay even 5 minutes of just meditating or 5 minutes alone. Like, I don't know how we can demystify that. I don't know how we can change that.
I think for me, this is a very personal topic. If you follow me on TikTok, I think I've mentioned how, our family set up in Eswatini, where I come from, how we are brought up to be, wives, mothers, nurturers. So at a very young age, a small girl, I remember very well, vividly, at 6 years old, my mom would say, you will embarrass me if you wake up at this time when you get married, because the goal was for you to get married and be useful in that family. So if you are sleeping until, as you are saying, 7 a.m. is still too early to wake up. And it's like, you are sleeping until the sun is
out.
What do you mean? Because for her, resting and just taking time to yourself, and myself personally, I love sleep. I can sleep until midday past
Me
1
too.
and I have nothing, bothering me because of that. But that thing always comes back to my head to say, if my mom found me sleeping at this time, trouble. So it's a problem, because now you get married to this family and they expect you to wake up at 5 a.m. There's literally nothing to do during that season. Say it's winter, we are not plowing. There's nothing going on in the family setup. But the family expects you as a woman to wake up and just be moving around. My mom used to say, get out of my house, just move around so that people can see there's people in this household. I mean, sometimes you just want to sit, relax, and read a book maybe. And at some point you feel so guilty, because it's like you should be washing dishes, you should be doing laundry. And I have taken a personal choice to say, I think I told you yesterday, to say I will not be, pushed or push myself to do something when I don't feel like doing it. If I feel like I need to take some rest, even if the dishes are this high in the sink, I will just ignore, because that's my time to rest. Even if the laundry is not folded, I will just leave it there, because I need that time to rest. And it has taken me a lot to get to the stage where I'm just unbothered by what people say, or how people think of me if I'm taking my rest. And it's so important for us, especially women.
Yeah.
You know, men will have their time to chill out with guys. Fridays are for drinking. They're just resting and having a drink. And, you know, for us, we feel like we are not as useful as we are, as we should be, if we are not doing something in the household. And I think it requires you know, you need to detach from that childhood trauma for you to get to a stage where you can say, rest is good for my body, for my brain. I need to listen to my inner self and reconnect with my ancestry, because they love peace, they love rest. Where there's peace, where there's rest, they come and give you messages that you wouldn't have gotten if you're busy moving around and doing a lot of things.
Doing things that are useless, first of all. You are literally doing nothing. Actually, you've spoken of sleep, and let me tell you, if there's something that I'm grateful for, is my sleep. Like the ability to sleep, because there are people who don't sleep. But for me, sleep and appetite, those ones are core to me. And there's someone who was saying that African women look the most tired.
And
Imagine, like, we are the most tired in the world. We look the most tired, and because we're just moving, doing nothing, taking responsibilities that are not supposed to be our responsibilities, doing what the men in our society are supposed to be doing. Imagine, we are taking over everybody. We are taking care of the responsibilities of our kids. We are taking over the responsibilities of the men in our society. And I feel like at some point, as African women, we need to embrace rest. We need to embrace just sitting and doing nothing. We need to also start prioritizing. Can I do this? Can I not do this? Will this be beneficial to me? Does this need to be done at this time? Because,
you don't have to take care of everybody and everything. And just to take you back to African women being the most tired, I think I would say even European women, especially if you've been to Europe and have seen how hard those people work, you work 2, 3, 5 jobs just to make it, you know, just to make enough money for you to survive in that kind of environment. So I think it's a universal thing where we feel like I need to be working extra hard. And then coming back to this society where money has been created to be the source of livelihood. You know, during our ancestors' times, they used to farm their fields. So if it's not the planting season, at least they had some time to rest and dance and, you know, have those cultural events, communal events. It was fun. But nowadays we don't have all of that. If you are not in the farm, you are somewhere in the office typing, you come back carrying that workload from your job to your home, still continuing. So I think I would still go back to our ancestors and say maybe they rested more than we do nowadays, because of those kind of celebrations that they used to have. After harvesting, they would sit down, relax, drink, and have a feast because they've achieved something. What of us? We don't even have those feasts nowadays.
We don't have them. And actually, from ancestors, they used to have, every person used to have their own responsibilities. So there's no point, at one point, that someone else was taking over what you're supposed to be doing.
The man's role.
Yes, especially the men in our society. They knew what they're supposed to do. The women, they knew what they're supposed to do. So there was no, at one point, one is more tired than the other. The other one is more overworked. They don't have even time to spend quality time even as a family. They don't have even the kids time to play together, interact with each other, you know, spend quality time as a family. So I think it's very important as African people, as the world in general, for us to start embracing resting, taking a break. Actually, on Saturdays are usually my rest day. Saturn rules Saturday, and Saturn is all about resting. Yes, the planet Saturn, not the Saturn that you know in Christianity. So it's all about resting. So for Saturdays, I do the bare minimum. The bare minimum, just sleeping and resting. Yes.
I think that's where polygamy was very important in the African. I think that's where it was. That's why it really played a vital role in our African setup, because the more wives you had, the more kids you had, the more easier work could be. You would finish planting and plowing at one go because you are too many of you, and you wouldn't even feel tired because you just maybe plant or weed a certain, you know, amount of or piece of land, and that will be it. The others will take care of the rest. So maybe for them it was very important to have as many wives as you could, so that you can share the responsibilities, you could share, the roles within the family setup. And for the man, for the man, it's just providing. The rest of the
providing, protecting.
The rest of the work is the woman's job. So the more the farm, the more work for the woman. So the more the wives, the less work for the woman. Maybe we should embrace polygamy. Maybe we should.
Ooh, tricky. Tricky for this generation. But I think we'll do a whole topic on polygamy and how it was done.
And the benefits, because it's always been demonized.
Yes, but there were very good benefits in polygamy, especially when it came to resting and sharing responsibilities.
Exactly.
I think we'll discuss that further. That's a whole topic on its own. And
But let us embrace it. Guys, let us know, would you be, in such a situation of polygamy, just for you to have some rest, just for you to have, to share the responsibility? Because if you are giving birth today, your husband's second or third wife would take care of the child and you rest, It was good in a certain way.
And actually, I've just remembered, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth wife, they were not the wives to the man, they were the wives to the first,
woman,
the first wife, because they were here to come and help the first wife, take care of the first wife, and helping responsibilities. So
more
maybe,
rest for the first wife.
I don't mind resting, but now it has to be done the right way,
What is wrong with it? Guys, let us know what you think about this, and just give us your views on resting and matters polygamy. We'll talk about in a separate video. We would love to hear from you in the comment section, and please support us by liking, sharing,
subscribing, follow us on all podcast platforms, YouTube, and bye-bye.
Bye.